Here we are, TK, on the day after Australia have bowed out of the World Cup, where Australia had plenty of chances in the box but didn't score. Doesn't that sound familiar over the years, TK? Look, I think you've got to go through so far the realistic good parts of the World Cup in terms of we've played very well against Denmark and France, and let's not forget, Peru are ranked 11th in the world. We're ranked 36, so realistically, we were only a very outside chance to get through. So I think we did well. I think we stuffed up the qualifying. Ange Postecoglou there was, and in the qualifying, you could certainly more than question their effectiveness. Over the actual World Cup, certainly created chances, but just no striker. Kale not coming on against Denmark was a bit bemusing, considering how much the ball we had and all that side of things. So, disappointing, but also some positives. And Moy, Sainsbury, Rogic and Azani have all been offered contracts in a higher league around the world. So there's suddenly 4 millionaires out of the week, so that probably should be a selling point to kids around Australia. So there were some good bits, some disappointing bits. And as usual, the World Cup continues and we go back to AFL, etc. Crows, TK. Haven't they bombed? An embarrassment, really, as a farce. Now, you call a press conference at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. I have a lot of respect for Brett Burton as a person. I'm not sure whether job-wise. Now, Adelaide over the years, Burton, Smart, Robert, Bickley, Hart, McLeod, Matty Clark, and on the board, Pays, Rue, Jamo. They've employed a lot from within. Now, not a problem with that. And so you should promote from any workforce from within, but you've got to question whether due diligence would have always been played and whether they are actually the right person for the job. And Adelaide this year with their injuries and the consistent hiding of it and bullshit regarding it, like Knights, 10 weeks ago now, had a hamstring, was going to play the next Saturday. It was just awareness. Hasn't played since. He did it again. Walker's done it twice. Betts has done it twice. All the bullshit they've did in there, I think they've really lost people there. And I'm sorry, you've got to question Andrew Fagan. Last year, heard him every 5 minutes. This year, the Crows are struggling and bombing, and he's doing his Marcel Marceau impersonation. Look, on the camp side of things, now the word's around that the Crows decided they didn't win the premiership because they weren't mentally tough enough. Now you think back years ago, don't dare think that Malcolm Blight hadn't worked out that David Pittman was one of 4 or 5 people he was going to target, and it was premeditated. Good luck with doing that nowadays. Geez, you'd have the players out on strike. So I think we've engineered that in society as much, so it's become a problem like this garbage of not keeping count, score with kids sport, not having a winning or a losing. Well, in life you win or lose, you miss jobs, you miss promotions, etc. It's life, and yet we kiddie fit and do garbage around sport. And so I do think that then floats the whole way through. And how dare people actually be honest? Yes, on the Indigenous side of it, they obviously stuffed that up. They obviously didn't do enough research beforehand. The whole collective minds and who they employed. Again, due diligence, more than a question mark. Paddles, yes. The collective minds in the 7 goals in the third quarter was missing. You did want me to mention that, so I'll give you there. Back to you, Paddles, again. On the State of Origin, New South Wales have won there. There was questions about a few things. Did Queensland choke? Did they get crucified a bit the second game? And that. But TK, back to the AFL. I'll be honest, I'm not watching anywhere near as much AFL football as I used to. We're not on our Pat Malone here, turning off the TV. That St Kilda Sydney game on a Saturday 2 weeks ago. God, the other half put on Murder on the Orient Express, so you can see how bloody exciting the footy was. So I think there's a lot of questions about footy. I think 18 teams is just too many for one. There's not the quality and that. And there are some very average sides, let alone players, but average sides in the comp and the gap there. Carlton consisting of having Friday night games, well, that is the perfect cure for insomnia. So maybe that's the aim. We're going to fix up sleeping disorder by Carlton Football Club. Adelaide with injuries, fitness-wise, Haas, big question, more than a question mark there. Like any other job, you would have got the bullet by now. You would have thought. So there, we wait to see on the World Cup from here, and there's probably no team standing out there. The excitement of the France-Denmark game last night, where they played ticky-boo with 2-year-olds kicking it back and forth to each other and with no attempt. But let's go on the real bake of the World Cup. The Alex Rance-led diving crap. Now, for goodness sake, sport, and I am having a go at Alex Rance and the AFL here, show some balls and suspend some people. Don't do this fine crap. Soccer, issue the card then, or review it after the game and suspend people. Issue suspension, in 5 minutes it'll stop. Instead of Alex Rance leading the revival of Swan Lake, it is pitiful. It is the worst thing about soccer and about sport. And I hate that it's crept into AFL and that sort of garbage. SANFL wise, the Redlegs 6-game winning spree go down to Alberton this week. As far as I'm concerned, the game should be here. Just personally, how can you have 2 AFL sides in the competition? If we're going to force to tolerate the 2 AFL reserve sides in the competition, why aren't the Port Power reserves, like Adelaide, playing every game away? I just think that's hypocritical in that way. But in sport, the Australia in the cricket, geez, we got within a wicket last game too, TK. We're bursting through the seams. But in all real seriousness about it, a one-day competition, why did we panic and make Payne captain? Alex Carey is the keeper for the one-day side with any common sense whatsoever. Why, therefore, Finch, someone else could have captained the one-day side. So effectively, we're almost doing a Mike Brearley playing with 10. Well, he ain't Brearley as a tactician, and it is one-day cricket where you're not calling for the Brearley-led tactician to win the game. So that's stupidity. So really, TK, summing up at the moment, frustration is probably the word in sport. Frustrated with Australia's lack of scoring, embarrassment, almost laughter at the Crows' insipidness with a few things. Port going well, mind you. I thought the umpire should have come and joined him in the circle after the game against Melbourne. I think the D's got, that was bizarre. So overall, a lot of things happening. It is the magnificent world of sport. Controversy, frustration. Go the Redlegs, over and out. Now, on to way more important matters than sport, TK. On Saturday, July 7th, when Nord play the Crows, it is the Count Me In round in aid of MND. The magnificent man, Chris Gregg, father of Mitch, has MMD. If anyone wants to have a read of an article, I have got it in there about Chris and MMD. Geez, he's fight. He's a man of immense character. Nord, we lost Damien Lane through it last year. His widow, Nairi Lane, will be tossing the coin with their children. It will be an emotional game here at the parade in a couple of weeks. There is a kick for a car competition. Stand by for other huge news regarding that game. It will involve Crows players, Nord players, etc. It will be big. We desperately would love to see anyone here Saturday, July 7th from midday. It will be a big occasion for MND. Thank you.